Today, the world and especially Bharat, we are celebrating Holi, and this is called Choti Holi. So today there is a system of burning. So we first burn and then we celebrate. So there is a system where people just create huge stacks of many things. They add into that stack and then they light the stack of especially cow dung. They prepare some things with cow dungs, and then they dry them up and then they burn it. So that's holy, and then they offer many things in that. So that system is there and we have been doing it, and I have very sweet memories of as children we used to go with my mother, and there used to be a puja in the morning, and then she would go offer everything, and then she would tie a thread, she would go round and do all that. And then in the night we would go with my father, and there would be this fire and we would see that, and my mother wouldn't go then but my father would. And we never thought about these things and their significance back then. It was a ritual that we just followed. But then now Baba, when Baba comes, so Baba tells us the significance of everything that we have been doing in bhakti. And Baba says that when we say holy, and in the so today also Baba is explaining that when we say holy, holy means holy. In Hindi we say holy means past is past. And Baba says when you put the past behind you, when you put a full stop to the past, so first you have to put the past in the past, and only then can you imbibe the colors that Baba is giving you. So Baba is coloring us with his purity basically, and that purity we will be colored by when we first put the past behind us. So we have to empty ourselves of all the things that we are carrying inside, because you see, when the disk is full, no more data enters. So if I, the soul, am full of all the past that I'm carrying in me, then how will I imbibe what Baba is giving me? So this is something that Baba is saying, and let us understand about this past. And Baba says that you put a full stop to the past by using the shield of drama, the shield of the knowledge of drama. So you see that when there is a war, there is a shield that people use to protect themselves. Yes, so Baba says, I have given you a shield which can protect you from experiencing and re-experiencing the sorrow of the past. And you use that shield of the drama to put the past behind you. And so we will today discuss about this shield of drama. So you see, what does the knowledge of drama tell us? So the knowledge of drama tells us that the drama is predestined, and it is predestined second by second. Yes, it is an identically repeating drama, and whatever you have passed, whatever you have whatever scenes you have crossed, those scenes will be identically repeating every cycle. Yes, so you see that when we understand the knowledge of the drama, what it basically means is all the interpretation that you are doing with those scenes is useless. Yes, so you are interpreting the scene as good and bad, and you are saying this happened and this was good and that was bad, or you are saying that, had this not happened or had that not happened, so it would have been very nice, or you are blaming somebody for some scene. But do you understand that all of these acts are acts of foolishness? Because the basic thing is, it had to be like this. Always it has to be like this. Every cycle you come back to the same point, that scene is going to repeat identically. So there is no point in going over it and saying that if it had not happened like this, it is going to happen like that. It is destined to happen like that. So this thought that had it not happened like this doesn't make sense when you know the knowledge of drama. Then good or bad, it is neither good nor bad, it is what it is. So your interpretation can only affect your feelings, but your interpretation has no power to change the scene. And it is a predestined scene which will exactly repeat after 5,000 years. So that's why all this interpretation is useless. And then blame is, of course, absolutely useless, because there is no point in blaming. That whoever you are blaming is just an instrument to bring about that predestined drama. So, but the drama is predestined. It's supposed to be that way. So Baba says, when you are using the shield of the drama, then you are able to put a full stop to the past. Put a full stop to thinking about the past. And the thing is, however much you think about the past, it will rob you of your present happiness, but you cannot change the past. So thinking about the past does only one thing. It robs you of your present happiness. It doesn't do anything else. You cannot do anything about what happened. But the thing is, we find it very, very difficult to put a full stop to the past, because we are so caught up in this right and wrong, and who did this and why did this happen and shouldn't happen. So I was just thinking today, you see, if we applied the knowledge of drama, then basically many words in our dictionary wouldn't exist. So why, what, how, should, could, would, they don't exist. So this should, could, would is a body conscious vocabulary. So there is no should, there is no could, there is no would. So had you done like this, this would have happened. No, there is no should, could, would. There is no why, what, how. These words precisely have no place in the dictionary of a knowledgeful soul. And I remember that, when I came into Gyan, so I was very new to Gyan, and I did not understand Gyan basically. So I was just going for the classes, but not understanding a lot. And at that time, Santosh Bhai was into Gyan. So, every time we had an argument, I would tell him, You see, if this wouldn't have happened, then that wouldn't have happened. And if sometimes I would say, if I wouldn't have married you, then this wouldn't have happened. So, so then he would say, you will marry me every cycle, so don't worry, just relax. So, so this is how it is going to be every cycle. So I used to just think, I'm getting all worked up and I'm getting so irritated. And why is this person sitting so calmly and saying this is going to happen every cycle, so relax. So I just, and even I knew that the drama is repeating, but I think I had not imbibed it. So, sometimes you know the knowledge of the drama, but you have not imbibed it, so it doesn't reflect in your attitude in when you're faced with situations. So whenever you are in the midst of a scene, whenever you are in the midst of a scene where somebody is saying something, doing something, you get caught up in right, wrong, and this shouldn't be like this, that shouldn't be like that, because you forget that this is a predestined drama and every soul has a pre-recorded script and everybody is just playing their role according to their script. There is nothing that anybody can do about it, or there is nothing that anybody can change in it. But what you can do is, you can position yourself, you can position your attitude in that scene as a positive attitude. Yes, and when you have a positive and powerful attitude in that scene, then your karma stays appropriate. Your karma is accurate. So when you get caught up in this should, would, could, and when you get caught up in what, how, and where, how, why, then what happens is your positioning of attitude starts getting distorted. And then you start reacting. And that is what matters. Karma matters at that point, because the past is gone. It's gone and you can't do anything about it. But when you think about the past and when you start putting question marks, then your attitude towards that whole, because of that thinking, your attitude is negative, and then your karma gets spoiled. And that is important because that will decide the future scene. So Baba says, at this time, we fortunate souls have the shield of the drama, and this shield will help us to put a full stop to thinking about the past. And let me tell you one thing, and this is from experience which many souls have shared and my own personal experience also. Our interpretation of every scene changes every few months or years. Even about the past, so the past, one thing is the past. Where is the past? Doesn't exist. Does it exist? Where does it exist? There is no existence of the past. One thing is that, yes, it is merged in time. There is no physical existence of it. Second thing is, you are carrying within yourself a version of that event. So obviously there is a lot of subjectivity in the way you have interpreted it in the past, and that subjectivity is a product of your state of being at that time, right? So then as you grow, and especially when you come into Gyan, then a lot of interpretation starts changing. And even when you are not in Gyan, something happened and you interpreted it in a certain way, and then after a few years, a new information comes into light, and then your version starts changing. Yes, so what you're doing is, The past is gone, it doesn't exist, and you're playing these games with yourself and with your psychology, where you're repeatedly reinterpreting the ghost, the past. In Hindi, it is called the bhoot, and you are focusing on the bhoot, and then you are interpreting it in numerous ways, in numerous times, and then that which you are doing inside is damaging you psychologically. And I will share one experience with you. I have shared it earlier also, and it is something that made me stop thinking about whatever is happening. It's not just what happened, but even now, 1 second back, if something happened, then that is the past. A second ago also something happened, it's the past. And whatever interpretation you are doing of it, that is going to change when some new information comes to light after some time. Yes? So let me share that experience with you. So there was this young girl, and she had studied from the London School of Economics, and she came to the center, and she was a very sweet young girl, and she told me that I am a psychological mess. And she said, I want to tell you what all has gone on in my life, and right now I'm in a very bad place psychologically and I want help. So I asked her, okay, tell me. So she said, when I was 6 years of age, then I was playing in the, I was playing in the veranda, and my mother came and she said, give me a glass of water. And I was playing, I was very busy playing, so I did not pay attention. And a few minutes later, she went to the bathroom and she committed suicide. And at that time, I did not know that, I did not understand why she committed suicide. I only knew she died. And my naive mind, because I was only 6 years old, I thought that she went and killed herself because I did not give her water. And I thought that nobody should find out that she killed herself because I am such a bad child and I did not give her water. So I started hiding that from everybody. And I was constantly keeping this secret and hiding it from everybody. And for 3 years, I kept doing that. So in every conversation about my mother dying, I used to just be very wary that nobody should find out that she killed herself because I was the culprit not giving her water. And then when I grew up a little, and since I was living with my father and my grandmother and grandfather, so they started telling me that my mother was a very bad person and she tortured your father and she killed herself. So then as I was growing up, I started understanding that I was not the reason, okay? So that was fine. So I was relieved a little. But then I started thinking, okay, so my mother was a very bad person. And I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about how, my mother was a bad person and she abandoned me and she tortured my father and she killed herself and she did not give me anything. So all of those things were like, they were seeping into me like poison. And then as I grew up, I started seeing my father. And I started seeing that my father is a very irresponsible person. And he never took care of me. He never took care of anything. And I have had incidents of abuse within the household. And all that was because of my father, and because he didn't protect me, because he did not pay attention. And there is also one incident where I thought that my father was also trying to abuse me. So she said that after all of that, when I was 16, I started interpreting that it is not my mother who was the problem, it was the father. And I have been loving my father and hating my mother, but it is the opposite. And then I started hating my father and missing my mother, and both of them were not there. So, I was just very messed up. And then I hated my father for 3 years, and now he died. So now I don't know when, because now I think that I shouldn't have hated him, because at least he was alive. So I loved the dead, hated the alive, and now he's also dead. So I don't know how to deal with it. And she said that I'm such a big mess that I have no trust in my interpretation anymore. Whenever I meet somebody, I feel that I will always wrongly understand them. And if somebody tells me something, my inner being is full of mistrust. And then on the outside, I'm always trying to mend my mistake and trust. And what is happening is, because of this inconsistency, people are constantly cheating me, because they are getting the signal that this is a messed up soul, and I am into many, many, many bad relationships. So when she said all this, you see, why I'm sharing this, and this is not the only one, there are many examples that I can give you about this, but this is a very detailed one, so I choose this. So you see, Baba says that the past is just the past. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't imply anything. And there is no way it could be avoided. Whatever happened was destined to happen. So whenever you start interpreting it, it will only mess up your mind. And the problem is, you cannot interpret it enough. So every few years, whenever new information comes to light, whenever you are evolving, and whenever your sanskars are changing and something is entering your buddhi, your interpretation will start changing. So the thing is, just be a detached observer. So don't label anything as anything. So don't say this was good, this was bad. Just say it is drama and move on. So whatever scene is happening, just say this is drama, this is destiny. And have a very neutral attitude. And in that neutrality, because peace and happiness is our basic nature, stay peaceful, stay happy in every scene. And finally, Baba says, when you see it in the final stage, when you see it when your stage is the finest, at that time you will be able to see that there was actually kalyan or benefit in every scene. But when Baba says the drama is kalyankari, you must understand that right now we can't understand why it was kalyankari. But as we evolve, as we grow, as we become full, there will be a time when you will be able to understand everything very clearly. When you look back, you see, when you look back now, there are some pieces of the puzzle which you can see, which earlier you couldn't. Yes, so in this journey of life, when you look back, maybe there are many things you don't understand why they happened, but there are some which have revealed itself, have they not? So there are some things which you now understand why they happened the way they happened. And in the final scene, you will understand why everything happened the way it happened. But the thing is, now if you keep asking why, it will only mess up your mind, because so you see, there is this very beautiful dialogue, picture abhi baki hai. Yes, so if the movie is not over, why are you drawing conclusions? And whenever you draw conclusions when the movie is, halfway, then you will only confuse yourself. So Baba says, first thing is put the past behind you. So even if you're going for the ritual of burning that haystack or something in Holi, just remember this, it's not about that, it's about burning everything that I'm holding of the past and knowing that it is what it is and it is for benefit. I trust it, and just letting it go. And only when you put the past behind you, then you will be able to focus on Baba. Because what I have understood is most of our thinking is about the past. That past could be 1 second back, that past could be 1 minute back, that past could be 10 years, 20 years back. But most of our thinking is about the past. Don't you think at least 80 to 90% of your thinking is about the past? About the past second, past minute. So you are always thinking about the past. So if you just put a full stop to that, how much of freedom would you have? How much of, peace would you have? Because all this why, what, how, should, could is confusing you and messing up with your inner world. So when you are at that kind of peace, when you are in that full stop stage, then you will be able to see Baba and draw the love and peace and power from Baba, because Baba is constantly giving us so much love, peace, purity, power. But why are we not drawing it into ourselves? Because we are very, very busy. We are busy thinking about the past. So when our intellect is free, then we will be able to experience, we will be able to acknowledge Baba's presence, we will be able to focus on the love and peace, the purity, the power that Baba is giving me, the joy that Baba is filling me with. And Baba says, if you want to be colored in my company, then you have to put the past behind you first, because that is taking up a lot of space in your hard disk. And then Baba says that when you do that, when you do that, then you will become the holiest and the highest. And Baba says, instead of churning the past, churn the ocean of knowledge, and that will make you really holy. So not play holy, but be holy. So when you are colored in Baba's company, when you churn the ocean of knowledge, then you will actually become the holiest and highest. Yes. So this is something that Baba is telling you. And then there is this thing that Baba says, that the highest wealth is purity. So the highest wealth is purity. Now let me ask you, what does wealth do? So why does a person earn so much of wealth? So people want to spend their wealth and look beautiful, buy health, yes, buy comforts, yes, buy happiness, and buy good relationships. Yes, so basically what are you trying to do with health? I'm talking about beauty also today, because recently I have come to understand how much of wealth is going into, this maintaining the face and this and that. And there was somebody who was, there's a sister and she's a dermatologist, and the other day she was sharing with me how people are, there are injections which people are taking for skin and this and that, and those are pretty costly. And I was very amazed at this. And she said, all the wealthy people spend most of their wealth in doing this. So I did not have this information earlier. So I'm saying this now because I recently came to know this, that there is a lot of wealth put in into ensuring that you look beautiful. But the thing is, do you look beautiful with spending all of that? But if you have purity, your face will shine as it is. So with the light of purity, you will glow, that like, no makeup can make you glow. And about health, purity is what can make you stay healthy, because if you look at the physical system also, purity is directly connected to the immune system. And the purer you are, the better your immune system. And even if, there is some past settlement, maybe, from the past, many settlements come, even if your immune system is not working fine right now, it is through purity that you can set it right, or at least manage it in this birth. And I am telling this to you from experience, because there was this one sister who used to come, and she had this autoimmune condition where her skin had turned black. So she was a fair lady, and when this autoimmune condition happened, then all her skin started turning dark. And she showed me her pictures and she told me, see sister, I look like this and now I look like this. And it's within a few days that my skin got affected and I turned like this. So I asked her, what do the doctors say? So she said, the doctors said that this is an autoimmune condition and your immune system is working against you. So that's a past karmic account, that's okay. But the thing is, the doctors cannot help you because there is no basic medicine for immune correction. So there are things you take for management, but there is no basically nothing that can reverse it. So then I asked her, why, how, what brings you here? So she said, the doctor has asked me to meditate. And then she learned, remembering Baba, she learned how to practice to be a soul. And within 1 year, her skin had started showing signs of recovery only through meditation. So the thing is, Baba says that, health also. So whatever you are earning wealth for, whether it is beauty, whether it is health, whether it is good relationships, whether it is peace of mind, yes, so that you don't have to worry. But you see, however much wealth you have, do you stop worrying? No. But if you have purity, that purity makes you stop worrying, because you know that your karma is good and you will be taken care of. So purity can give you what wealth can't. Whatever you are seeking for from wealth, wealth cannot give you that. But purity can give you what you are actually seeking for from wealth. So Baba says that even the comforts or the happiness that you are receiving, that you are seeking for from wealth. So you see, these days people buy big cars and big houses, but where is the happiness? Yes. Is there happiness? You're sitting in a big house, in a small room, in a corner of that small room and crying. So, so where is the happiness? So the thing is, purity will give you happiness. Purity gives you happiness, and purity comes from knowledge and yoga. So the more you use the knowledge of purity, Baba is giving us knowledge of how to think, who to remember, what to do. That knowledge, when you apply, you become pure, and yoga makes you pure. And it is purity that gives you happiness, that gives you beauty, that gives you a peaceful state of mind, good relationships also. I tell you, so I'll share this very beautiful incident with you. There was this one brother, and he said that, I'm very rich, so I'm very scared that somebody will marry me for money. Okay, so because I'm very rich and my parents are both dead, and I'm the only son, and I have inherited their wealth, and and he told me, Didi, I'm rich beyond you can think. So I said, okay. So he said that, I am so rich, so I'm very scared that there is nobody to protect me because my parents are not there. So if somebody marries me for wealth, then I will be in a lot of trouble. So he's not getting married. But then I said, okay, so then what are you doing? How are you managing your life? So and okay, you are wealthy and you have decided not to marry. So why are you here? What's the point? So he said, so you see, Didi, what happened is I have a maid and she cooks for me. And day before yesterday, she came and said, जाओ साहब जी बाहर से bread ले आओ. Today I'm not in a mood to cook. So we will both eat. So she ordered me to get bread for her, and so that she and I can eat. And she said, I'm not in a mood to cook today, and this is why I've come. And what do I need to do? What should I do? Should I get married, not get married? So I said, you see, the thing is, you have so much of wealth consciousness. Yes, that, yeah, I told him, now you came and sat before me. I don't know who you are, but the first information that you're giving me is I'm wealthy. And I'm sure you are doing the same thing to everybody. And that is why everybody is looking at your wealth. So why don't you shed the wealth consciousness first? Why don't you remember that you are a being, you are a person, and you have so much more to offer than wealth? And when you remember that, then your body language, your words, your behavior will show that. And then the other soul will also look at something in you which is beyond wealth. But when you are in wealth consciousness, you attract the greedy. But when you are in purity, you will attract good relationships. So Baba says people are trying to buy good relationships with wealth. So he thinks, I'll not get married, but I'll keep a servant and she will serve me. But the servant has also started ordering. Why? Because if you don't have purity, royalty dignity cannot come without purity. So if you're such a, if you're behaving like this, then obviously everybody will mistreat you and you cannot have good relationships. So purity is the foundation for health, good relationships, peace of mind. Yes, it is the foundation for beauty, everything. So Baba says, purity will give you what wealth can't give you, and wealth is secondary, purity is first. Okay, Om Shanti.